So Kathmandu, Nepal is one of the 4 cities that has been considered by Tomorrow's Cities for the risk-informed urban planning. So if you look at the urbanization trend in Nepal, we have now 66% urban areas. However, most of them are still rural in nature. With that, Nepal is one of the fastest urbanizing nation in Southeast Asia. And most of the urban areas are, of course, prone to a lot of disaster, ranging from flooding to earthquake to landslides and so on. And climate change is making this much, much worse. So Tomorrow's Cities is about transition from crisis management to risk-informed urban planning. And it is also based on co-production of risk-informed urban planning with not only the communities that we are working with, but also with the federal, with the municipal and the local authorities. So this is a participatory sort of project that we are working on. The mission, of course, is to reduce disaster risk for the poor in tomorrow's cities. And in Kathmandu, we have chosen the southern areas of Lalitpur, basically focusing on the new town development area, which has been on the agenda of the government since very long. So we have taken Kokhana and Bungamati, which consists of traditional core settlements also, as our study area. So as you see, we have 2 wards in this being considered. So here, this area is rapidly urbanizing, more so because of a lot of new development programs that are coming in the area. Like, for example, we have the Kathmandu-Tarai fast track road that is coming. There is this new town being planned. So this area is very, very fastly urbanizing. So under this circumstances, in this background, we have chosen 5 scenarios for considering the risk-informed urban planning in the southern area of Kathmandu. And those are the land use, based on the land use plans that has been developed by the Kathmandu Valley Development Authority, consisting of 3 scenarios that are already there. Then another scenario would be the existing scenario, as is scenario, as we call it, which is also foreseen by the community to a certain extent. And the other scenario is the land use, which is based on the vision that is foreseen by the community. So the vision that the community has for 20 years from now, and also based on the analysis of the trends and drivers of development. So with these 2 intertwined, we have come up with 5 scenarios, 3 based on the Kathmandu Valley Development Authority, 1 based on the as-is scenario, whereas 1 which is based on the vision foreseen by the community. So these are the 3 land use plans that are already there, that are already existing, and is worked out by the KVDA, the Kathmandu Valley Development Authority. Whereas based on time series analysis, if we look at the trend that is happening, and if we continue with that, then we have a scenario, the 4th scenario, which is where we don't have any intervention. And the scenario the 5th scenario is the scenario which is based on the vision foreseen by the community, which they foresee in 20 years. So how they would like to see Kokhana develop in 20 years is what the community got together and visualized, which was facilitated by our team of experts also. So they worked on the vision based on what, what they would like their area to look like. And it was an extensive exercise based on which we sort of predicted the land use plan. And this is what the land use plan looked like, which consisted of most of the development plans and programs which would have come in the 20 years, as well as what has been foreseen by the community. So this land use plan was again discussed with the community, and thereby we had their feedback. So this land use plan is the outcome of the iteration where the community totally rejected the fast track road, and they had some more revisions that they suggested. So this is the fifth land use scenario that we had. So based on these scenarios, now we are sort of working into the details of how the area would be developing in terms of urban expansion, in terms of residential areas, how would the households look like. So if it is near to the core area, most probably the whole area would develop in a traditional manner with the facade looking looking similar to the old traditional town and so on. So these are the details that we have been working out based on the land use plans that we have foreseen. So based on the 5 land use plans, we are now working on the details of all the different areas. For example, the commercial areas, how they would look like, what would be some of the activities that would come over there, what would be some of the buildings and infrastructure that would be coming in those areas, what would be some of the infrastructure, like for example, the community has visioned a cable car and many infrastructure in their areas. So these would be some of the details that we would work out. We have been working out, and then so based on these different land use plans, we would then look into all of these plans, and based on the simulation from the physical as well as social perspectives on vulnerabilities, we would be looking as to analyzing as to which one of these land use plan would produce lowest disaster risk for its people.